folks! Welcome to TravyJsSpace here on YouTube. And welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk here on YouTube. I guess it's echo. Yeah, where we on Let's Talk, we just talk. No games, no distractions, no problems here. Not at all, not a single problem to worry about. Don't you worry a little heart. But on this episode, we're actually going to be discussing, I've kind of wanted to touch on this for a little bit, because it only took me a couple days to get through because I'm a huge fan, but I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit about season 5 of The Crown that just came out not too long ago. From recording this, but when you guys watch this, it'll probably be a significant amount of time since its release. But yeah, where to begin? Where to begin with season 5 of The Crown? Oh my goodness. First of all, the cast was wonderfully put together. They are remarkably similar when it comes to physical features and stuff like that. They really put a great cast together, especially for the realism effect and just kind of mimicking each character. Their mannerisms spot on. I don't think I can complain about any one of those characters or actresses that portrayed each royal. They all just really held up the mannerisms, the personalities, everything. Especially, I have to say, our new Queen Elizabeth, Imelda Staunton. Oh my goodness, she just nailed it. She really took the time to hone in that role and become the queen, and it was just so impressive. I thought it was just incredible. And again, just like when it comes to the hair, the makeup, and the wardrobe, as well, they killed it. Like, they really nailed it. If you compare the real events to how they portrayed it, just incredible. Like, there almost isn't much of a difference at all. They really nailed it right down to the finest detail. So I was really impressed by that, incredibly impressed. It's almost like gives you goosebumps just seeing just how similar and eerily the resemblance is pretty eerie, actually. Especially when it comes to Diana. That's the other character that I just was blown away by. I forget her name now. Something DeBecky. I just watched an interview with her, and I can't remember her first name, but her last name's DeBecky, and she was wonderfully well done in her performance as Lady Diana, Princess Diana. She killed it as the Princess of Wales, I have to say. She had the mannerisms down pat, and the voice, it certainly helps that she already naturally has remarkable similarities to Princess Diana, but she really took that and gave it such a platform in every aspect, even with her walk and the way she would react to certain things. It just gave me chills, because there's a lot of scenes where you're almost like, wow, that's not Diana. That's not Diana. Because it's spot on. They really did her justice by hiring Miss DeBecky, and they also nailed it with her when it came to the wardrobe, the hair, the makeup. I mean, the revenge dress that they recreated. Oh my goodness. I love that they didn't sway too far, much at all. They kind of really kept to the same design, because it is an iconic dress and an iconic moment historically. So it was great that they didn't kind of use that as an opportunity to kind of do their own style or their own way of it, interpretation. They really just stuck to the facts and history. Which actually I noticed that as a reoccurring pattern in season 5. I noticed that a lot of the costume design and stuff of that nature, accessories, were pretty much to par, like with exactly the way that they, exactly the way history shows them to be wearing these outfits and such. So I mean, because I noticed in some of the previous seasons they did get real close, and then they kind of adjusted little things and didn't quite, you know, match it verbatim, which in some scenes was a little bit annoying to see, because someone like me who knows, you know, who really pays attention to the fine details and has been studying the royals and has had a deep love for the royal family for years, for someone like me like that who notices those things, it can be sometimes a little like, oh, why did they, you know, throw that necklace in or take that piece out, you know, that was so crucial and stuff like that. But with season 5, they actually, you know, they really kind of just stuck to what they saw. They recreated, you know, they didn't throw in any kind of movements or get a little crazy and say, oh, let's throw this in, or let's maybe adjust this, or change the hem, or, you know, stuff like that. They really stuck to it. So I can appreciate that huge from someone that looks for the details and that, especially with Queen Elizabeth's outfits, as well as Diana's. Yeah. So yeah, those two were great. And when it comes to the other actors and actresses, I think, again, they're just spot on. There really wasn't much room for complaint at all. They killed it. Absolutely killed it. Especially with Princess Margaret. I like how her attitude and her personality and such carries on from Helena Bonham Carter's portrayal of her. You know, it doesn't feel like a new Princess Margaret or a different Princess Margaret. It just feels like a seamless transition from one age to the next. And that was particularly one detail I noticed that I really appreciated and enjoyed about that. It really showed like the sense of that, you know, it's not a new chapter with new people and it's all different. No, it's really just a continuation and just a new cast, but they're like an extension of their previous cast from previous seasons. So it really worked out, and I was not disappointed with any of it. I thought it was incredible. My favorite episode was the one about Muhammad Al Fayed and his story from youth, and that was really touching. And Sidney Johnson, I think his name is, the valet to King Edward the 8th. I want to say, I always get everything all mixed up and mashed up. But yeah, that episode was really close to my heart, really touching, and I thoroughly enjoyed that one. But I did notice as well that there was a bit of a pattern, but the season actually, I noticed its theme really had more to do and focused on the Queen. And I think, of course, all of the seasons are mainly focused on the Queen and her story, and then they sometimes trail off into some of the other royals' stories, if at the time, you know, historic moments in that. But it really kind of proved that it all comes back to the Queen, because if you notice, and if you have seen it, and I hope I'm not spoiling anything, but it starts with, you know, the Queen when she first sent the royal yacht Britannia into the sea. And then the last episode, called Decommissioned, ends with, you know, the Queen having to decommission and put to rest and retire the royal yacht Britannia, which was like her home, you know, and with all the other things that went on in the 90s for her personally and such, with Annus Horribilis, you know, her worst year in 92, having all these divorces with her kids, and Windsor Castle burning, a great majority of it burning down. She had a lot to go through. She really had to toughen up and carry on and get the job done and not let it affect her. All these different tragedies in the 90s. So I think there's such a great significance and meaning behind starting off that season with a moment of great happiness and a new chapter for the Queen, you know, back when she was a young woman, when she sent Britannia on its way, but then to end the season and show, you know, all these years later that something so close and dear to her that she could have and love and share with her family, a home, really. Watching that having to be taken away from her, it's like she's unstoppable. She is undefeatable, you know. She takes everything and just lifts her head up high and says, I'm just going to keep going. I will not let this bother me. I will not let this get to me. I mean, I'm sure in her private moments, you know, she takes a moment, but she gets on with it and carries on. And I think her story, just who she is and what she's been through, is just so deeply inspirational and motivational on so many levels. I mean, just the dedication to loyalty and duty, the loyalty to duty actually too, is just incredible. It's unspeakable, and there's just no words. This season really showed the Queen having to face some of the hardest moments, I think, in her reign, but taking it all with a smile and not letting it get to her, and then coming back so strong and showing everyone, you know, reminding everyone who she was and who she is and what she's been through, and that she will not give up on her people. So yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say about The Crown season 5. Had to get all that out because I'm blown away, and I think it's probably one of the best seasons that's come out for The Crown. Absolutely, for sure. And I'm almost certain, if not, I'm going to be pretty upset. I'm certain they'll be nominated for many different awards come this next award season, for sure. And if they don't, I'll be very disappointed because they knocked it out of the ballpark. And I think season 6 will probably, I don't think we're ready. I don't think any of us are ready. I think it's going to be quite a crazy ride if you just kind of think about history, royal history between 1997 and I think they said they're ending it in 2005. So almost 10 years, that last kind of 10 years of royal history is still quite a doozy, and a lot of different things took place. We got the Golden Jubilee in 2002, the passing of the Queen Mother, Elizabeth's mom, the passing of Princess Margaret, and of course the wedding of Charles and Camilla. There's quite a lot. The passing of, oh my goodness, the biggest one, the passing of Princess Diana. Diana meeting, before she passed, meeting Mother Teresa. I mean, there's so much. So I think season 6 is really gonna have us on the edge of our seats and just like jaw dropped. So I'm really looking forward to that, and but I was really impressed and thoroughly enjoyed season 5, and I recommend anyone out there who hasn't watched The Crown to definitely give it a go. If you don't know about the royal family though, I would suggest watching a documentary first. There's one called The House of Windsor, I'm pretty sure, on Netflix. It used to, when you watch The Crown, it used to suggest to watch that first. It's like a mini series that just is more like a documentary series and gives you all the facts and shows you all historical moments, so that when you watch The Crown you go, oh wow, oh I see now, oh wow, you get like the first person approach of all of the history. So definitely recommend watching the documentary first and then getting into The Crown. It's incredible. And I know a lot of people right now are saying that it's, in the media there's a big controversy on its authenticity and this and that, and saying it's just kind of like, it's kind of scandalous and tabloid kind of gossipy crap that's ruining lives and this and that. And I don't know, for me, I don't disagree and I don't agree. I feel like it's a great way to attract the youth to And yes, it's not totally non-fictional. It's not totally truth. There is, and they say that. Peter Morgan says that a lot, that it's, you know, it's fictional, but there are elements to it that, you know, they've gotten from history. And a lot of the recreated scenes, you'll see that and understand that. But I do believe that maybe there should be a label before each episode that does say, you know, this isn't meant to be taken as pure fact and take for what you will. You know what I mean? Just something to kind of remind people. Because a lot of television shows, if they watch something based off a real story, they start to believe the Netflix special version rather than what you could read in some books and do research on, or, you know, go online to trusted sources and take the time to read or watch documentaries and stuff. They just want the scandal and all that, and then they just believe the scandal and start spreading the story of the scandal like it's truth, which really isn't right, and it's very lazy intellectually. So I mean, I do think it's smart to have that label, just for this new generation that just believes everything on the internet and believes the first thing they see and all this stuff. And it's just, yeah, it's a very naive, gullible kind of generation. So I think that's important for sure. But other than that, I do love The Crown, and it's a great show. They've done a very well done job and really taken the time to do the research and to get their facts straight and get everything to par, you know, and do the royal family some justice for sure. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, you know, not just there to make them look real good or to just shoot them down. They cover all the bases, so it's very well rounded for sure. Well, folks, that's it for me. I'd love to know what you guys think of The Crown or the royal family as well, down in the comments below. And of course, if you have any suggestions or topics, you know, for a future episode of Let's Talk for us to discuss, again, drop down in the comments below. I'll certainly see it, take note of it, and it will most certainly become a future episode of Let's Talk. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I really appreciate you guys. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. Love you guys very much, and yeah, just thank you for deciding to take a part of your day to share with TravyJ. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, toodles for now. Ta-ta. Ciao. Till next time. Howdy, folks. Did you like that video? Well, then why don't you go ahead and give that thumbs up a smackaroo. Don't want to miss out on the next episode? Give the subscribe button some love, and make sure to turn your notifications on. That way I can give you a bell ring, let you know dinner is served. Still need more to chew on? Take a bite of my new YouTube Instagram account at TravyJsSpace to keep up to date with the channel's inner workings and news of upcoming projects and episodes. Thanks for watching. See you next time.